Sue. I am live for the first time here on YouTube, and I'm glad to be with you all today. And I am neck deep in my studies for my theology degree, and very excited about that. Lot to do with that, though. So today, my live broadcast might be pretty short. Um, but what I wanted to do today was just to talk about um, like how you know just tell you something about my spiritual journey. Um, and so I guess I think my spiritual upbringing. Well, I was brought up Catholic. My first initial exposure to God probably came from my mother's mother. She would sing me to sleep at night with "O Come All Ye Faithful," which I'm sure anybody who tunes into this knows. Come All Ye Faithful." It's a Christmas song, right? Um, but she used to sing me to sleep with that song, "O Come All Ye Faithful." And and she also had pictures of Jesus around the house. Not a lot of them. I wouldn't say that my family was super religious or anything like that, but she was certainly a very faith-filled person. She went to mass all the time, and was very, serious about her relationship with God. In fact, I found it was kind of fun. I found um, a diary of hers that she wrote in, I guess it was 1927. We actually have this diary at home. And it was written by her the year she met my grandfather. And and it was so fascinating to read all about her. Hey, God bless you, set apart. God bless you. Um, and can you see me? Is it broadcasting horizontally or am I sideways for you? Let me know that. I did ask to do it sideways, but I'm not sure it's working that way. Anyway, um, but my grandma wrote this diary. My grandfather actually gave it to her as a gift, and she used it sideways. Really? Okay. Well, let me try this then. Hold on a second. Is this better? Is this now better? Tell me if it's better. Set apart. Tell me if it's better. Um, and because I'm just learning, this is my first time going live on YouTube. Perfect. Yay. Okay. Well, good, good, good. I did try to do it horizontally because I'm usually used to that, but that's fine. This is great. Um, so, um, so she wrote all these things about the cars back then, this silver cloud that she read and all that. Hi, Andy. Hi, how are you? Greetings, greetings, greetings. So anyway, so my grandmother, one of the things my grandmother wrote was, as she and my grandfather became closer, she actually wrote in it, "Lord, is this the man you want me to marry?" She was serious enough about God and about what God wanted for her that that he um that she wanted to ask him, and of course we know, "Oh, you're from Bavaria. I've been to Bavaria. It's such a cool place. It's so beautiful. I love the mountains there. I'm a real mountain person." I'm trying to remember, how to speak. I know the greeting in Austria. I lived in Austria for a year. Ah, Strobing. I don't know where Strobing is, but I have been in Bavaria. Of course, probably the classic places they take tourists, right? But I did live just outside Vienna for years, and so I know the greeting there is Grüß Gott, but I know that that's Austrian and that's not German. But anyway, so my grandma, was very much somebody who tried to live for God as she understood Him to be, and she took it seriously, and she was a real inspiration to me. in my life. And but anyway, I grew up Catholic. Both my mother's parents and my father's parents were both church going Catholics. We weren't the type that, like, every little, some people are what I would call Catholics, and I don't want to say anything to to describe that, except that, we respected, the priests and the nuns for the positions they held, but we didn't consider them as being absolutely perfect, nor did we really require them to be. They were people that were in a certain function in the church. Hello, Cenobite, how are you? God bless you. So but anyway, so that is so that was the beginning. And my mom and dad decided that they would send me to Catholic school. And oh, thanks, Andy. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, YouTube can be a little nutso. I agree. Well, you know what? It's all kinds of stripes of people, right, all over the place, But I'm just sort of sharing sort of my, my my thoughts, about, I love Jesus, and I try to share just my life, So right now I'm just kind of trying to tell people a little bit about, about being, about how I grew up. And so I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school, and when I was in school in first grade, they taught us catechism questions, right? They had catechism class. Catechism is religious education. Yes, I'm in America. That is correct. Which state am I in? I am in New York. I'm in New York State, Andy. So, yeah, New York State. Yep, absolutely. So I wish I could remember my German. Next time you're on, I'll bone up on my German and be able to say something to you, other than Grüß Gott, which is Austrian. But I did live there for a year and had to get around and speak German and do grocery shopping in German and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, very, very nice. My sister-in-law actually grew up in Germany. Her father was American military and mother was German born. So yeah, they lived in, they lived in Heidelberg, which is also a very pretty part of your country. So but in any case, do I live in Seattle? No, I don't live in Seattle. No, I don't live in Seattle. No, that's the whole other side of the country. That's a whole other side of the country. So, but yeah, nope. I'm on the East Coast. So I'm by the Atlantic, where Seattle is on the Pacific coast, right? So, but yeah. So anyway, the first, yeah, New York, you got it. Good for you. There you go. So anyway, the nun that was teaching my first grade class, she was teaching us from the catechism, from the Catholic catechism, and the first question and answer in the catechism for little kids is, who made me? God made me. Well, I got to tell you, it blew me out of the water. I'm only 5 years old, right? At that time, I'm only 5 years old. That was 65 years ago, all right? So, but yeah, I was only 5 years old at the time, and I said, God, it just blew my mind to think that God had made me. And I had a very good family. I had a very happy family, and things were good for me. I say, yeah, Clint Eastwood. Yes, I know Clint Eastwood. Absolutely. So, but let me finish. So the So they said, who made me? God made me. I said, God, you made me? I said, you gave me my mommy and my daddy, my parents. I was fortunate. I had a very loving couple who gave birth to me. and they provided for me and took care of me in every way. And I know that not everybody's lucky like that, but I was very fortunate. I was very blessed to have parents that I grew up with. Both of them were school teachers, um, and uh, and and I said, God, you made me. You gave me my mommy and my daddy. You put me in this beautiful world. I was looking out. The lawn outside the school was still green. It was early September, and the grass was still green. There were still birds in the tree. I was just captivated by nature, the nature that I could see outside the classroom, and thinking about how happy I was. And I said, God, if you made me, you can have me. And that was really the beginning of my journey, you know. Hey, Linda, God bless you. I'm so glad you're here, darling. Good to see you too. So I'm just telling people a little bit about my upbringing and so on, and telling them about the day in first grade where I learned the catechism question, who made me? God made me. I said, God, you made me? You gave me my mommy and my daddy? And you gave me this beautiful world to live in, God. If you made me, you can have me. Wow. I mean, I was just a grateful, grateful girl. I was grateful to God. And so I said, anybody who could make me and put me in a family like this, in a beautiful creation like this, deserves everything I have. What a thought, right? I'm only 5 years old, but my heart just really just responded quickly and easily to God. And for the next, all the way through grammar school, which for me was through eighth grade, right? I was right through eighth grade. I was really paid really a lot of attention in our catechism classes, our religion classes, and really tried to, apply whatever I heard about, about the Bible or God's word, anything that came across my path, I tried to apply. In second grade, I also was a kid who had, and I've shared this before, I had eczema growing up as a child. And eczema, most people know about eczema now, but back then it wasn't, the treatments for it weren't what they are today. Today they like put a pill in your mouth and it fixes a lot of stuff and things like that. But for me, I had a lot of really bad rashes on my hands, on my legs, on my arms, and it wasn't very pretty to look at. Okay, I couldn't do anything about it, but but just kind of walk through. Germany, oh, do they really, Andy? Oh my goodness. Yeah, well, we have a lot of those same problems here in the United States. We have a lot of border issues as well. Absolutely, we do. We really need to pray for wisdom for our leaders, don't we? That wise decisions are made to help us with those problems, because those are absolute problems there. Oh no, really? Oh my goodness, 3 people. Why was it a crime or something, Andy? What was it? I don't want to. 3 people, goodness gracious. That's sad, very, very sad. There's a lot of, unfortunately, when people come across our borders, whether it's there in Germany or here in the United States or wherever, sometimes bad people come in that have all kinds of problems. People come in that have all kinds of mental health issues, or also all kinds of violent tendencies. And unfortunately, when they come in, the people of the country pay a price for that. So for sure, that's true. I certainly will pray for that, and I'll look up Solingen and learn some more about that. But so anyway, with this eczema that I had, I know terrorists. Yeah. Unfortunately, they are coming across, different borders here in the United States too. We have that problem of people coming across. There are people that just want to start a new life here and they're okay, but there are people that come and are not okay, and they've just, they're criminals and they have problems. Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely, it's bad. No question about it. No question about it. So, so, so in second grade, I was listening to my teacher. I had, it was just a woman. She wasn't a nun, a priest. She wasn't a religious person. She was just a secular teacher, but she was in the Catholic school. And she read the passage about Jesus healing the leper. And that really meant a lot to me too, because I felt like a leper because my skin condition was so terrible. I had a lot of rashes all over my body and I wanted to be healed. And the thing that really got to me was that Jesus took hold of the leper's hand and healed him. And you have to understand that because of my eczema, because of the scaly, forgive me, but my skin was in such terrible condition that other kids didn't want to hold my hands. And and very often games that kids play on the playground are all hand holding games, or they were when I was a kid, and kids would just go and they'd pull away from me, and just because they were just sort of kind of repulsed by my condition. So when I heard the story about Jesus and the leper, I knew that Jesus loved me too, and that if Jesus were here, Jesus would hold my hand. Later on in my life, he would use that same story to assure me of his presence when I was feeling afraid. He said to me, and I had already forgotten the story. I had to get up in front of people and speak, and I have familial tremors, which you'll probably notice the more often I come on, where my hands kind of tremble and stuff. I've always had that. It's called familial tremors. And I had that, and I'll answer you in a second, Andy. Let me just finish this. I had been asked to speak about something to other people at a little gathering at my Catholic church. And I was so nervous. I said, God, my hands shake. You know how scared I get. I really need your help. And he said to me, I will hold your hand. And I got so emotional. Andy, New York, is New York very dangerous? That's a question, right? That's a question. I don't think, I don't know. I don't think it's any more dangerous really than other places in the United States or any other big city. I mean, you have to watch your back, you have to be careful, right? I'm sure, if you're like in Frankfurt or one of the other big cities, in Germany, you also have to be a little bit careful. But other than that, we do have problems with immigration right now. We've got a lot of problems with immigration and handling that. New York City is considered what we call a sanctuary city. They've declared themselves as such, which means they will receive, anybody that comes across the border and try to help to house them and feed them. And on the surface, that seems like a very good thing. And I won't say it isn't, and yet it's not really bearing in mind that we also have to be wise about who we let across the border. It's a complicated issue. Yeah, right. See, Frankfurt, Munich, you have great problems, right? Big cities have a lot of people in them. And the more people you have rubbing up against each other, the more chance there is that you're going to have difficulties, right? You're gonna have various difficulties and things like that. As far as our presidential election, I'm going to choose, because this is a public forum, I'm going to choose to not comment on that, because it's quite a complicated and at this point a very divisive kind of a topic at this point. in our country right now, and people have very strong opinions, as to who would make the better president and which direction our country should take moving forward, right? Oh, you have a Labrador? Oh, Luna. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, that's really nice. I had a dog for about 10 years. Unfortunately, she passed away. But I'd like to get another dog at some point. But the cost to adopt is an animal right now is pretty high, so I can't really afford it at this time. As so I have to just sort of wait. I don't know. I Dogs are very, very faithful, that's for sure. But I don't know. I love people just as well. But I understand how people can feel that way because people can betray you, right? People can betray you. So, anyway, but yeah, so, but guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I'll tell you a little bit more about me in my next broadcast, but right now I gotta go. I gotta hit the books and do some reading for my marriage and family class. So, God bless you all. Until I see you next time, may the Lord bless you and keep you. May he make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord lift up his countenance upon you and give you his shalom. Shalom isn't just peace, but it's wholeness. Wholeness in your body, wholeness in your mind, and wholeness in your spirit. Amen. Great to see you too, Linda. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again next time. All right. Bye, guys. God bless you all. Take care now. I hope I'm gonna end this right. I'm not sure how to do that. Hold on. I think this is it. Yes, I want to stop streaming. Okay, bye. See you next time.